This is the package that I received from Tesladyne as part of the Atomic Robo Kickstarter campaign. And when I got it, you can see the very visible damage on the exterior of the box. Inside are 9 high-quality hardcovers that are most likely not in mint condition. I contacted them and let them know this was the condition I received the box in, and they asked for me to provide additional detail about the damage that was actually sustained. So we'll go ahead and open this up, and we can see how it was actually packed. And as you can see, the exterior damage from the box was largely sustained because the packing material consisted exclusively of some wadded up paper. When you take that out of the way and you look at what's actually in the box, it's 9 hardcovers and a soft cover and a couple of prints. No bubble wrap, no packing peanuts. The box itself is corrugated, but it's only single wall. And so how any reasonable person with even a modicum of experience in shipping could have ever possibly expected this package to survive even a trip next door, much less across country, boggles the mind. So let's take a look at what actually happened to the books when they shipped and as they were received. So obviously the paper envelope sustained a little bit of crinkling damage, but by and large looks like it probably survived okay. This envelope, again, not a big deal. It's all right. Small packet of what looked like postcards, shrink wrap so they didn't slosh around. They seem to be in pretty decent shape. The field guide, again miraculously, survives. No damage. Alright, here's volume 1. And we can clearly see a corner bump at the top. Looking at the other corners, a little bit of a ding there. And again, corner damage here on the bottom at the spine on both sides. Not to mention this copy was bound in such a way that it's off center anyway. So even if it had survived, it was defective. Moving on to volume 2. Here we see very clear evidence that the silver foil has rubbed off the T in Atomic, again because it's sloshed around inside an incompetently packed box. Also see corner damage on the spine. The bottom of the spine is less severely damaged, but bumped nonetheless. The corners on the front of the book clearly bumped at the bottom, although the top miraculously does appear to have survived. That's volume 2. Volume 3. Corner bump at the top. Some exposed whiteness on the bottom where it has rubbed itself raw. Corner bumps at the bottom of the spine front and back. That's volume 3. Volume 4, horrific damage to the top of the spine, going all the way down almost to the first letter. Severe corner bumping. Severe spine damage. That's volume 4. Volume 5, again, horrific damage to the top of the spine, all the way around the side, the front and the back. Bumps on the corners on the front, at the top. More exposure on the bottom, where it's just rubbed all the way through to the paperboard underneath. And on the bottom of the spine too. That's volume 5. Volume 6, corner damage at the top. This one actually is in pretty remarkably good shape considering how it was packed, although damaged nonetheless. Certainly didn't come from the printer that way. And if it did, it should have been rejected. Now on to volume 7. Again, damage to the top of the spine, severe. Damage to the bottom, wrinkling there, bumps to the front of the book and the back on the corners, although the top, again, miraculously seems to have survived. Volume 8, absolutely horrific spine damage. Considerably more severe than any that we've seen so far. Again, all the way around, front and back. Damage to the front corners at the top. There's some more white on the bottom where it's peeling through. Again, horrific, horrific damage from incompetent packing and inadequate provision for high dollar backers. Again, those of us who ordered all 9 volumes of the book get the shaft. Severe spine damage on volume 9. Some corner bumping. More corner bumping and white exposure, and bottom of the spine. It's hard to tell and see visibly here on the black spine there because you've got to get the angle just right, but terrible, terrible bumping on the bottom of the spine too. And again, here's the interior of the box where you can see it just sloshed around. Absolutely incompetent packing job. Arguably criminally negligent in the level of incompetence by whoever was responsible for doing this. And that's where we get to the main question. In my correspondence with Tesladyne, they have tried to indicate that they believe that they're doing me the favor of asking me to document this damage for them so that they can pursue a claim with either the shipper or the warehouse that did the packing and shipping for them. But what they failed to acknowledge and recognize throughout our interaction and our correspondence over the last couple of days is this was their Kickstarter. It was their responsibility to get these books packed and shipped competently so that they arrived in the condition that they were at when they left the printer to me. And they don't seem to understand that their personal choice to hire a third-party fulfillment company to do it for them in no way absolves them of the responsibility for making sure that third-party fulfillment company has the faintest idea how to do the job they're tasked with, and clearly they don't. If you review the comments section on the Kickstarter campaign page for Atomic Robo reprint regalia, you'll see that I am not the only one who has had this issue. Everyone who got all 9 volumes presumably got them shipped the same way with the same damage. The only question is, how many folks out there didn't care and could live with the damage they got? That really doesn't matter, because I'm not one of them. And at this point, the creators of this project need to replace all 9 copies of this book at their expense and send them back to me competently packed. Well, what does competently packed look like? That will be in phase 2, and I'll show you for a package I'm about to pack and ship out to an eBay buyer exactly what a competently packed stack of high-quality hardcovers looks like when you get it ready and prepared for shipment. So here we are with a stack of 6 Starman hardcovers, the Omnibus series. Excellent series from James Robinson that I have read and are now headed off to the home of someone else to enjoy. So, how do we pack a volume of, this is only 6 volumes, but most of them are a little bit thicker, so in terms of the weight, in terms of the size, in terms of the displacement, this is about the same volume of material that the 9-volume Atomic Robo set comprises. So, what do we do? How do we pack? Well, the first thing we do is we get this. This is called bubble wrap. Bubble wrap is necessary if you want to protect the spine and the corners from impact damage. If you do not use bubble wrap, you will damage the books. I don't care what boxes you put them in. I don't care how far away they're going or how nearby they're going. If you do not use bubble wrap, the books you ship will arrive destroyed every time. So how do you do it? Well, you turn it over and you lay it out. And then you take the stack of books and you place them on the bubble wrap, one at a time, till you get a nice even stack like this. Once you have the books stacked up, you take the bubble wrap and you begin to flip it. And I'm going to have to put the phone down so you can see what it looks like after it's done. But you essentially roll it end over end until you've got a fair amount of bubble wrap around the books. As you can see, you get it started like this. It becomes easier to roll with each additional layer. And you just roll. And you keep rolling. And you keep rolling. And you keep rolling. If you stop too early, you expose the books to potential damage. I would recommend at least 8 or 10 rolls for a volume of this size. Once you're sure you have enough bubble wrap, and in this case, since you can barely make the books out through it, even though it's relatively clear, you have a pretty good solid layer. Then you go and you find the seam, and you rip the bubble wrap off. And you bring it up, and you put it in place, and then you go find your packing tape and you seal it up. Your packing tape should look something like this. Clear, wide, strong, durable. This came from Office Depot. It's in a tape gun here. And you take it, and you use it, and you seal off the bubble wrap. So it's taped closed. Then, you do it all over again, and you rotate the package at this point of books, the stack, 90 degrees. So that now you're going to do the same thing again from the other direction and seal up the sides so they don't slide around and they don't fall out. You start by taking the end of the bubble wrap that you had before and you fold it in place. Just like you're wrapping a present. Once you do that, you do it on both sides. And again, roll it over, and over, and over. Several times until you are confident that the books are safe and secure. And then you find the seam, lift it up, put it in place, get your tape gun, and you tape it up. Done. That is how you wrap a package that has any value whatsoever to ensure that it arrives safely where it's going. Then you get a box. This is the kind of box that Diamond uses to ship comic books to comic shops every single week. What you can see from the difference here is if you look at that box, it's double-walled corrugated. Compare that with the single-walled corrugated box Tesladyne used. The strength is considerably higher with a double-walled corrugated box. Not the kind Tesladyne elected to use. So, what do you do next? And keep in mind, Diamond ships a lot of graphic novels, a lot of comics. They know what they're doing, and they have considerable investment in making sure that books arrive as undamaged as possible, as often as possible, because they don't want to have to reship to thousands of comic book shops every week because they skimped on the kind of box that they use. So they use double wall corrugated boxes, as anyone shipping any book to anyone, anytime, ever, always should. So you take your package, pick it up, and you drop it in. And as you can see, with the protection of the double wall corrugated box and the bubble wrap on all sides, these books are extremely likely to survive the trip. If you wanted to, and I do, because I care about the condition the book arrives in for the person who bought it, you can get packing peanuts to fill in the little bit of space that's left on all four sides so that any damage that might be sustained to the exterior of the box, which again is extremely unlikely because it's double wall corrugated instead of single, is absorbed by the packing peanuts and the bubble wrap and not the book itself. And this is how anybody with a brain packs a box that they care about the recipient receiving in good condition, if it contains books of any kind. Then, fold it down and seal it up. You may have noticed, as I was trying to close this box, that it did not want to close all the way. It's a little bit taller than the box itself actually will accommodate. So rather than pinching and squeezing and getting people in here to help me hold it shut and tape it up anyway, I'm going to do what ought to be done in all such cases. I'm going to get another box and put some peanuts on the bottom as a bottom layer. Then I'm going to lift this bundle of books in the bubble wrap out and set it on top of here, and then show you how to use two boxes. Again, both double walled, meaning you have quadruple walled protection to ensure that these books are even better protected than necessary. So I've taken the bubble wrapped box out and placed it on top of the layer of peanuts that I have at the bottom of this box. And then I'm going to take the remaining peanuts and again do as I did before and put them in place here. And dump what's in the bottom of this box into the larger box here. Kind of smooth them around. And then what I'm going to do is take this box and place it over the top. Move this piece of cardboard out of the way for a minute. Place it over the top of this box and push it down into place. So that now I've got one giant box, extra protected on all sides, with the books inside, using two diamond boxes, one inside the other. Then take a pocket knife and open what is the bottom of the second box that you put into place, so that you can finish putting packing peanuts in for extra security. Go get the remainder of your packing peanuts. In there to make sure that you've got it securely in place. Then close the box back up and seal it. And you want to seal the box with packing tape all the way around. So you rotate the box breaking the tape. all the way around. Then you do the same thing on the edges. Here you can afford to break the tape because it's not providing the structural integrity. But you do want to get it in place so that the boxes don't separate during shipment. Again, this is overkill for this package, but it's better to do it better than it needed to be and have it arrive safe than to do an inferior job and just hope the buyer doesn't notice or doesn't care. And that is how you pack a box of books for shipment that you care about the recipient getting in good condition.